So today what we're going to be working on is matrix multiplication. So it says matrix multiplication. If matrix A is an m by n matrix and B is an n by p matrix, then when you multiply A times B, matrix A times matrix B, you get an m by p matrix. So let's say I have matrix A, which is n by n, and B is an n by p. So in order to add them, or multiply them, sorry, these two have to be the same. So the last number in your matrix order of the first matrix has to be the same number as the matrix order in your second matrix. So those two have to be equal. And your resulting matrix, so when you multiply A times B, the order will be M times P. So the order for A times B will be M times P, M by P, sorry. Okay, so let's take a look at the general rules here for multiplying matrices. So if I have matrix A, in this case I have a 3 by 2, and matrix B, which I have a 2 by 2. So first of all, I do have these numbers are the same, and my result will be a 3 by 2 matrix. All right, so what you do is this. You're going to take the number in the first position of matrix A, so this number here, and you're going to multiply it by this number here, and then you're going to go across this way, and then go down this way, adding and multiplying. So it's that number times that number, which is right here, and then you add that to this number times this number, which is right here. Okay, and then you go to the next row and column. So you're going to take this number here and multiply by this number here, which gives you this number. And then you're going to add that to this number times this number. Okay, and then you go to the next one. So you're going to take this number here, multiply by this number to get this number here, and then add it to this number times this number, which gives you that number. All right, and then you go on to column 2. So then you're going to take this number here, multiply by that number, which gives you this, and add that to this number times this number, and that gives you that number. Okay, and then you go on to the next number. Next row, multiply by this number in this column, gives you that number, add it to this number times this number, and it gives you that number. And then you go on to the next one. So you take this number here, multiply by that number, add it to this number times this number, it gives you that number. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's try an example here. All right, so I have matrix A here and matrix B. So matrix A is a 3 by 2, and matrix B is a 2 by 2. So my result is going to be, so notice these are the same. So my result, A times B, is going to give me a 3 by 2 matrix here. Okay, so let's write this down. So A times B, that's going to give me a 3 by 2 equals. All right, so I'm going to start with this number here. I'm going to just change my colors. All right, so I'm going to multiply negative 1 times 2. Right, so I do negative 1 times 2. Add it to 2 times negative 1. All right, then go to the next row. So it's going to be 3 times 2 plus 4 times negative 1. And then go into the next row. So it's going to be 0 times 2 plus 5 times negative 1. Okay, now let's go into, I'm going to erase this, erase that. Okay, so now we're going to go into the next column. All right, so it's going to be -1 times 6 plus 2 times 7. And then it's going to be 3 times 6 plus 4 times 7. And then it's going to be 0 times 6 plus 5 times 7. Okay, so let's write our numbers right above. So I have -2 plus -2. So -2 plus -2 is -4. And then I have 6 plus -4, that's 2. And 0 plus -5 is -5. And then I have -6 plus 14 is 8. And then 18 plus 28 is 46. And 0 plus 35 would be 35. Okay, so this would be my answer. That would be my matrix. All right, so let's flip it over and we'll try another one. Okay, so we're going to start with multiplying C times D. C times D, matrix C times matrix D. So matrix C is a 2 by 2, and matrix D is a 2 by 2. So C times D is going to give me a 2 by 2. Okay, so let's do C times D to start off. Okay, so C times D is going to be 3 times 4. So I did 3 times 4, and then it's going to be 1 times, plus 1 times 0. Okay, and then it's going to be -1 times 4 plus 2 times 0. Okay, and then it's going to be 3 times -2 and 1 times 1. And then it's going to be -1 times -2 plus 2 times 1. Okay, so we have 12 plus 0 is 12. And then I have -4 plus 0 is -4. -6 plus 1 is -5. And I have 2 plus 2 is 4. So that would be my matrix. Okay, so now what I want to do is D times C. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite them over here on the side. So I have D that comes first. So D is 4, 0. And -2, 1. And C is 3, -1, 1, 2. Okay, so now I want to work on D times C. All right, so it's going to be 4 times 3 plus, so 4 times 3 plus -2 times -1. And then I'm going to do 0 times 3 plus 1 times -1. Okay, so now it's going to be 4 times 1 plus -2 times 2. And then it's going to be 0 times 1 plus 1 times 2. Okay, so we have 12 plus 2 is 14. And we have 0 plus -1 is -1. 4 plus -4 is 0. And 0 plus 2 is 2. All right, so notice that when you multiply, it does matter how you multiply. So C times D and D times C, they're not the same. So therefore we can say, so let's write this down. C times D is not equal to D times C. Therefore, multiplication of matrices is not commutative. Okay, so let's talk about the matrix identity. Okay, so identity matrix at n by n, so that's a square, right? So they have to be same down, same across. Matrix, ones on the main diagonal and other elements must be 0. So this is an identity matrix. That's identity 3. And the reason why it's 3 is because there's 3 ones. Okay, because it's a 3 by 3. Okay, so remember, identity always gives you back what you started with. So if my matrix A here is a 5 by 7, 5, 7, negative 2, 3, and my identity 2 is 1, 0, 0, 1, I want to find A times identity 2, which should give me, when I'm done, A in return. All right, so let's do A times A I sub 3. So that's going to be, so it's 5 times 1, and plus 7 times 0. And then we're going to do negative 2 times 1 plus 3 times 0. And then we're going to do 5 times 0 plus 7 times 1. And then we will do negative 2 times 0 plus 3 times 1. Okay, so I have 5 plus 0 here is 5. And then I have negative 2 plus 0 is negative 2. And 0 plus 7 is 7. And 0 plus 3 is 3. So notice I got matrix A back. All right, so that's it, and we'll practice in class tomorrow. Have a good night.